At 59, Cassi Davis was not exposing a secret marriage to LaVan Davis, and she was not confessing to a hidden scandal inside Tyler Perry's empire. The truth was more personal, more painful, and far more revealing. The woman millions knew as Ella Payne had been living with Bell's palsy since March 2020, while strangers studied every change in her face and repeatedly claimed that she had suffered a stroke. Cassi finally addressed the fear directly. She had not suffered a stroke. A facial nerve condition had changed part of her appearance, but it had not taken away her voice, her faith, her marriage, or her determination to keep working. That admission explained what viewers had been noticing. When House of Payne returned with new episodes, some fans saw that one side of Cassi's face appeared different. Questions spread quickly. Had she been seriously ill? Had producers hidden a medical emergency? The speculation became so persistent that the actress had to separate fact from rumor. Her diagnosis was Bell's palsy, a condition that can cause sudden weakness or paralysis in facial muscles. Cassi said the diagnosis came in March 2020 when the entertainment industry and the rest of the world were already facing enormous uncertainty. For an actress whose face had helped deliver comedy for more than 3 decades, the diagnosis carried special pressure. Cassi had built her career through timing expression warmth and the ability to move from laughter to seriousness in a single scene. Now viewers were analyzing the smallest movement in her face. Yet she returned to the screen. She did not disappear. She did not allow a visible medical condition to erase the work she had spent decades building. That decision revealed more about her than any sensational headline could. The second truth involved the man standing beside her, away from the cameras. For years, many viewers assumed Cassi Davis and LaVan Davis were married in real life. The misunderstanding seemed believable. They shared the same last name. They played husband and wife. Their chemistry as Ella and Curtis Payne felt natural. They argued, reconciled, prayed, laughed, and carried the emotional center of a television family. But LaVan Davis is not Cassi's husband, and the two are not related. Their marriage exists only in the world of House of Payne. Cassi's real husband is Kerry Patton. Their story began long before television fame, awards ceremonies, Tyler Perry Studios, or the character of Ella Payne. Cassi said that she and Kerry first met in the 3rd grade. They grew up, followed separate paths, and spent roughly 20 years apart. Then in 2007 they reconnected. What followed was not a rushed Hollywood romance built for publicity. They spent about 10 years together before marrying on January 11, 2017 in Las Vegas. That timeline destroys one of the longest-running assumptions around Cassi's private life. By the time she married Kerry, audiences had already watched her play LaVan's wife for years. House of Payne had first premiered on TBS in June 2007. The same year that Cassi and Kerry began talking again, viewers were being introduced to Ella and Curtis as one of television's most memorable married couples. Her real relationship was quietly growing while her fictional relationship was becoming famous. Cassi later spoke about her marriage with humor, honesty, and faith. She did not describe a perfect relationship without disagreements. She said their fights were beautiful and their making up was beautiful. That statement captured the love she valued. Not a polished performance for cameras, but a relationship that had survived distance-time conflict and reunion. When Bell's palsy affected her face, Kerry remained part of the support system around her. The man the public barely knew was present during the chapter the public could not stop discussing. Cassi Davis was born on July 31, 1964 in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Her age of 59 lasted from July 31, 2023 until July 30, 2024. That detail matters because online titles often continue using an age after the moment has passed. Her life story, however, reaches much further back than a number attached to a headline. She grew up with a strong connection to church music and faith. Those influences shaped one of the most important decisions of her early adult life. Cassi studied music at Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia. She reached the point where only one credit stood between her and graduation. But a dispute arose over her desire to perform religious music during her senior recital. Cassi left without completing the final requirement. For many people, leaving college 1 credit short would become a permanent regret. For Cassi, it became an unfinished chapter. Her acting career moved forward, but the missing degree remained in the background. Then she returned to Spelman and completed her degree in 2008. The actress, who had already appeared in film and television, went back to finish what she had started. It was not necessary for fame. It was necessary for closure. Her first recognized film role came in 1988 when she appeared in Spike Lee's School Daze. Cassi did not become an instant leading star. Instead, she built her career piece by piece. During the 1990s, she appeared in Living Single, Married with Children, and Kenan and Kel. From 1999 to 2001, she also performed recurring voice work on the PJs. Those credits showed range, but they did not yet make her a household name. Her defining professional partnership arrived through Tyler Perry's stage and screen productions. Cassi brought something Perry's stories depended on. She could be funny without losing emotional truth. She could play a woman grounded in faith without making the character feel distant. She could deliver a sharp reaction, then turn around and carry a serious family scene. Two roles defined that partnership. The first was Ella Payne. Ella was warm, patient, deeply religious, and often responsible for keeping the Payne family from collapsing under the weight of its own arguments. Curtis, played by LaVan Davis, could be stubborn, loud, selfish, and hilarious. Ella answered him with authority, affection, and moral balance. Their scenes worked because Cassi and LaVan made the marriage feel lived in. The second role was Aunt Bam. Where Ella often represented patience and stability, Aunt Bam brought explosive humor, blunt opinions, and fearless energy. Cassi could move between those personalities without losing the qualities audiences recognized as hers. Ella comforted a family. Aunt Bam could take over a room. Together, the roles proved that Cassi was not simply repeating the same performance in different costumes. House of Payne became the foundation of her public identity. The series premiered on TBS in June 2007 and originally ran through 2012 before later continuations. In 2018, Cassi and LaVan returned as the central couple in The Paynes on the Oprah Winfrey Network. In 2020, House of Payne returned on BET. That revival placed Cassi back in front of an audience at almost the exact time she was dealing with her Bell's palsy diagnosis. The timing created a painful collision between private health and public work. March 2020 was not a quiet period. Productions were being disrupted, medical fears were increasing, and daily life was changing around the world. Cassi was also processing a condition that affected the part of her body audiences watched most closely. When she later appeared on screen, viewers could see a difference, but they could not see the full emotional process behind it. Some people reacted with concern. Others treated her appearance as gossip. That difference matters. Concern asks whether a person is safe. Gossip turns a person's body into entertainment. Cassi's clarification forced the conversation back toward reality. She had Bell's palsy. She was still herself. Her speech, expressions, and movement might look different at moments, but the condition did not erase her ability or her history. Her career had already earned serious recognition. Cassi won the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series in 2010 for House of Payne. She won the same category again in 2013. Those awards were not based on rumor appearance or connection to a famous producer. They recognized performance. They confirmed that Ella Payne was not merely a popular supporting presence. Cassi's work stood among the strongest comedy performances on television. Still, fame did not make her eager to expose every part of her life. Cassi remained more private than many stars. She did not build her public identity around constant personal updates. That privacy created an information vacuum. When audiences lacked facts, they filled the gap with assumptions. The shared Davis surname became proof of a marriage that did not exist. A visible facial change became proof of a stroke she did not have. Silence became an invitation for speculation. But privacy is not deception. Cassi never owed the public unlimited access to her marriage or medical history. When she chose to speak, she protected the essential truth. Kerry Patton was her real partner. LaVan Davis was a trusted professional partner. Bell's palsy was the medical explanation for the facial difference. None of those facts required a conspiracy. The story of Cassi and Kerry is striking because it began before
They met in the
either could have
third grade,
imagined the life
separated
ahead, as adulthood pulled them in different directions and remained apart for about 20 years. Their reunion in 2007 happened when Cassi was already in her 40s and entering the most visible phase of her career. 10 years later, at the age of 52, she married him. The same pattern can be seen in her health journey. Bell's palsy changed something visible, but Cassi did not treat that change as the end of her public life. She continued appearing in the franchise that made her famous. She returned as Ella. She returned as Aunt Bam. She allowed the camera to record a face that did not look exactly as it had before, and by doing so, she made a quiet statement about dignity. There is also a deeper reason the rumor about LaVan Davis survived for so long. Viewers wanted the chemistry to be real. Ella and Curtis felt familiar. Their arguments resembled the disagreements of couples who had spent decades together. Their affection remained visible, even when Curtis was being impossible. Cassi and LaVan performed the relationship so effectively that audiences carried it beyond the screen. The same last name completed the illusion. Yet professional chemistry is not proof of romance. Cassi and LaVan created believable intimacy because they were skilled actors with years of shared experience. The fact that millions believe them demonstrates the success of their performances, not the existence of a secret marriage. At 59, what did Cassi Davis finally confirm that people had suspected? She confirmed that the changes viewers saw were real, but the most frightening rumor was wrong. She had faced a genuine medical condition, but she had not suffered the stroke many people imagined. She confirmed that the man beside her in private was not the actor beside her on television. And she confirmed, through her continued work, that physical change had not defeated her. The most powerful part of the story is not the diagnosis alone. Cassi remained visible in an industry that often hides people when their appearance changes. She kept playing characters defined by confidence, humor, and spiritual strength. She did not ask viewers to pretend nothing had happened. She simply refused to let what happened become the only thing they saw. The person behind Ella Payne is a Mississippi-born actress who began working professionally in 1988, completed a long-delayed degree in 2008, married Kerry Patton in 2017, received a Bell's palsy diagnosis in March 2020, and continued performing after viewers noticed the effects. She is also a two-time NAACP Image Award winner whose career has stretched across film, television, voice acting, and stage productions. Those dates form a record of persistence. 1988 marked the beginning. 2007 brought both House of Payne and the renewed connection with Kerry. 2008 brought the completion of her Spelman degree. 2010 and 2013 brought major acting awards. January 11, 2017 brought marriage. March 2020 brought a medical challenge. Together, they show a woman repeatedly choosing to continue. The final revelation is not that Cassi Davis fooled the world. It is that the world confused her silence with mystery and her privacy with secrecy. When she explained what was happening, the answer was not scandal. It was resilience. Behind Ella, Payne's calm advice and Aunt Bam's fearless humor, stood a woman tested by time, public speculation, and a visible health challenge, yet determined to keep showing up. At 59, Cassi Davis had nothing left to prove about whether she could survive change. Her career had already answered that question. The diagnosis did not erase her. The rumors did not define her. The fictional husband did not replace the real one. And the face viewers examined so closely still belonged to the same actress who had spent decades turning family conflict into laughter, faith into strength, and private hardship into a reason to keep moving forward.